So let's load the rest of the items, either that is consumables or they are cloth items. And yeah, let's load them onto our inventory. So on our right hand slots and our left hand slots, you can see we have an load items on slot, which means we need to do the same thing for the quick slots. So let's do load items on slot. We have a parent we can just be assigned to that, and from what I can see we don't really have anything else there. Then on the UI inventory manager, let's replicate that, although you can see that we have it below, whatever. Let's change this to consumables. Then let's do consumables, load items, settings, player controller, inventory manager, and now we need to find the consumables. Let's just say true and true for now. And let's go write the method that will return us the current consumables. And let's see, where do we have our consumables actually? Get all consumables, get runtime item. Okay, so I think we just need to create a new list for the current consumables, because we were only assigning the consumable there. So we can do this via consumable holder, current or quick consumables, let's call that there. Then yeah, so we have the index of where we're placing them, where we're changing weapons. Then for quick consumables, let's say that we want to get a list of quick consumables. Then we're going to be going through the quick consumables. So we're creating a list of runtime item results. Then for each consumable holder in quick consumables, result.add consumable.runtime item. If, of course, dot amount is greater than 0, or c dot random item dot item dot use when null. So copy that, then go back here, then change this to get quick consumables. So now the question is, how do we assign this back to our inventory? And obviously inside our inventory manager, when we are it's the same logic with creating the right hand weapons. So we're going to go, let's see, get right hand weapons, no, get update reference from profile, yeah, here it is. Save right hand weapons, and then we have our starting clothes here, left hand. Let's see where do we assign the current consumable. Switch, okay, I think it's down here. That's for switching. So we should have from what I can see, we assign it here. So this creates the consumables, and this just checks how many consumables you have on your list, and then it will assign the first consumable, and then it will update the quick slot from the item. This needs to change. So, well, this doesn't need to change, this just needs to be placed a little bit differently. So with this we create the consumable items, get item. Well, instead of adding this on the consumables, we're going to add it on the consumables. Maybe not the consumables. We need to add it on the consumables. This is the consumables list. This is the quick consumable list. Okay. So let's add this on the quick consumable list. So it will add them like we have already placed them. Then if quick consumables.count is greater than 0, then quick consumables should be this. But whenever we update one value inside our quick consumables, we should be creating, so we should be doing for void update consumables list, then the consumables list will clear, then for each quick consumable hook, see in quick consumables if c dot amount or what is it? Consumable holder, not consumable hook. Consumable holder dot amount is greater than 0, or c dot random item dot use when null, c consumables dot add c, then we're going to cut this from here and we're going to add it in here. We should be doing updates either way. So if quick consumables, actually this needs to be just consumables, so if consumables dot count greater than 0. So this sorts the list with only items we use, and if C is not null, first of all, because you might have null entries, because we are going to be selecting which slot to place them. This just crunches it down, so there is a certain list of how they appear. So let's try this. We have to assign the item slot from the quick slots onto our inventory manager. And let's hit play. We should get the two icons, we should get them below. We should get the quick slots. There we go. Now we have them. So now, well, we can do the equipment as well, but we don't really have anything there yet. So what we can do next, what we have to do next is basically assign this when we replace a slot. In here, we should be going onto our right hand or any slot we're using, and then using the index and update the item right on his hand, that is. So let's see, when we select an item, one of these, we have the stored ID. Let's see, when we apply, we say replace item or store slot. I think that's where we should be looking at. So navigate manager. Replace, let's see, replace item on store slot. We just say apply. So from here now we should be going and we should be talking to our player. So so we can access the player from this. But first of all, we need to say if replace slot dot slot type or type item type. Let's do a switch for replace slot. Actually, we need to be looking the store slot for what type of slot it is. Slot item type. Then on the inventory manager, let's say this is a weapon inventory manager. We need to know if store slot dot is left first of all. All right. And we're going to be saying left hand, get left hand weapons. Okay. So this is what we need to be replacing. Let's go on our inventory manager. And then let's look at the inventory manager, and we're going to be saying change my update random item list. Yeah, that's what we need to call for updating this. So that will work for weapons. So let's try this one first, and we'll see. Navigate manager, then item slot, settings player. Let's do it like this: settings, player controller, inventory manager, update random. If this, so is it left slot? The index is store slot dot index. Instance ID, that will be store slot dot instance. Stored ID, and UI slot, you can just pass the store slot. Okay, delete that. So this will update the random item, clear random references. Okay, this changes the index, of course. No, that will work. This will work. Let's check this out. So we should be able to change items at least right now. So let's say we put the Firebase there. Okay, so I think we have no problem. New item, current slot, get random item from it. I think we're missing the instance ID then. So let's take a look. Let's put a breakpoint to this. Actually, no, we do have the replace slot. Okay. Let's see. Come on. We have the breakpoint. Okay, it is attached. Open that. Select here, and I'm going to select the fire. So is left is false. Index is the second. Store ID is 1. Store slot is this. Okay. Then let's get inside this. Inside. Okay, let's go down here and put the breakpoint here. Okay, so we get random item from ID and we have instance of 1. Let's get inside. Is null or empty? ID, of course, it's not. Try and get value. We have 4 values and we're searching for ID of 1. So with that said, it means the second part is correct. So we can continue. Clear random item reference. For that will be this. Then I think maybe that's the issue. Then runtime current slot. Okay, it's assigned. Well, where's the problem then? New item. Okay. So yeah, that worked, but we do not have the icon stored over there. Let's see. Icon slot third. Well, we do have it. It was closed. For some reason it was closed. Okay. Let's close this. Let's see. Yeah, if we change, we get it. Let's open up. Okay. So the error comes from after we have assigned it. We basically need to rename it again or to place it back again. I think that's going to be it. Then stored slot on apply, replace slot. What happens here is you're changing the stored ID, you apply it on the player profile. Here it is. We're doing it 2 times. Update random item on list is left. Sort index. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to ignore this. Apply player on profile. I'm going to ignore it. Let's delete all. Let's comment that out. So we have the new update icon hook. Okay, let's try that. Let's see how that will work. Okay, since that, there we go. We have now this and that. Okay, we have, this is the empty, this is just the attacks. I kinda might have switched that. Okay, so let's try one more thing. Let's try replacing the actual item we have, or the first slot we have. Let's replace it with this. As you can see, this now had to update the list. So I think we're missing that right now. But with the same thing we have over here, we're going to do update random item on list, update random item on list consumable, which means we don't really care is left. We just need index, instance ID, and UI slot. Then random item, we get the instance ID. Clear random references, we're not using this anymore because it's consumables. We do not destroy them. So we will change the consumables index equals new item. Is this new item? We have, oh damn it. Yeah, okay. we have the runtime item from ID. Now that's a little bit of a problem, because get runtime item from ID will only return us the runtime item. So we are saving them as consumables. So instead of saving them as consumables, but we do need to know if they are consumables. Yeah, okay, so we're going to just do a dictionary for string and consumable holder. And we're going to be accessing through there. So we're going to say consumable holder, get consumable holder, string ID, const dictionary, try get value, ID, out, consumable holder, result, return result. So let's say when we add on the consumables, and when we add the no, that's the quick consumables. Let's do one thing. Let's say quick consumables. Well, basically this will create an entire list of our consumables. So we could be saying consumables dictionary dot add consumable. Can just use item dot name, since that is the instance ID for the consumables, and that is the consumable holder. Holder. Okay. This can be overwritten. Basically, we could just say we can take a list of all the consumables that are available, and then just take a list of the profile consumables are the ones you have on your quick slot. Okay, so let's write over here to do create the list of all consumables regardless if you pick them up or not. Then separate then the profile dot consumables are the ones assigned on your quick slots already. Okay, that's the difference to this. So let's go over here, and then I'm going to say get consumable holder, and we just need the instance ID in this case. Then let's maybe say consumables holder get consumables holder instance ID, then h.runtimeitem.current slot UI slot, and consumables is h. Then we can do update consumables list. Okay, so on the same place where we are updating this, we will do this. So update list runtime list on consumable store slot dot index store slot dot stored ID, and UI slot stored slot, and that's for the consumables. The same logic will go for the equipment, but again, as I said, I need to set up items for the equipment, so we don't really have anything to test with, so no need to make things a little bit harder than they should be. So here's another thing, update runtime. This doesn't actually update the current weapon, so we should do, let's see, get all items, get all weapons, get all cloth. I thought we have this is switch is a weapon, controller, load weapon. I kinda want to do something with this. Update consumables, Delete references from profile. Yeah, I'm basically going to do this on both of them. So let's try on updating list of weapons. Let's say load weapon, right hand weapons, right hand index. How do we know which is the right hand weapon? Let's change the index. This is which weapon, where we get, we're using index of. Okay. Yeah, this needs to also change. Or we could just be saving index, right hand index. Although that doesn't tell us. Yeah, okay. So, you know what? Let's just say whenever you place a weapon, we're going to be loading that weapon. Okay, so that will be is left true. Is left true. We're going to set that up as the new highlighted weapon. I think that should cover most of it. And then let's set this up. Okay, that didn't work. Damn it. Controller load weapon. Let's see if item is null. Now I don't know why this didn't work actually, so we have to make them. We have to put this another breakpoint, attach them. Actually, just go in here and put the breakpoint. In here. So close that. Let's hit play. It's just those little bugs that are the real problem sometimes. So we're here, don't need this, so let's go on the next one. So we're trying to get instance ID of 1 from 1. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're going to get that. We are clearing the item references for new item, which I'm going to guess is just destroying the game objects if it has them. Okay, not, doesn't. Just looks if we have it placed anywhere else. So right hand weapon, now it says the new weapon as that index, and then we say load weapon, and the weapon you want to load is the index of that. Okay, let's get inside. Continue. Item is null. What? How did that happen? You have... Oh, that's how it happened. Damn it. Because we were using the left hand weapon and not the right hand weapon. Well, that's what you get when you're doing things this fast. But whatever. We can manage. Okay, only problem is that this is definitely the left hand. That should have been on the left hand. Okay, that's the right hand. That goes on the left hand. Perfect. but what on earth is happening? Okay, so I'm going to force a switch weapon then. Switch weapon, index of controller, load weapon left index. There's an arm, put on the left weapon. Let's do bool force index equals false, integer forced index equals 0. So whenever this happens, if force index now will be the forced index. Okay, so that the rest will be the same. So over here, instead of load, let's do switch weapon is left true, and the index is this one now. Then switch weapon false, true, and index. Update random item on list. Okay. I think it should have been clearing the weapon, the other weapon that it has. So item is null. Load weapon on hook. Weapon hook is a nub, is left. Load weapon model. Do you have any other model? If current model is not null, yeah, I think the unload probably didn't play. Let's see if that's going to play now. Okay. And true enough, now it works fine. Perfect. Perfect, but it's missing. Yeah, we need to keep track of where we're placing this, I guess. This didn't update at all. Okay. The left hand has an issue now. And I think... item load weapon hook current model instantiate weapon model prefer. Okay, so here's a thing. On our weapon item, this is the base. Okay, so we're going to be passing the runtime item now. Okay, then weapon item going to be weapon item equals weapon item instance dot weapon item. Okay, let's fix all the changes now that we need. It's going to be passing the item itself. And the reason for that is we're going to keep a reference to the created object. We already have it, and it's here. It's the object instance, where we just check for that. Okay, then back to the inventor manager. When we're loading a weapon on hook, where we load the weapon model, we're going to first check for item instance dot object instance. If model is null, then object instance equals instantiate the new model. And then model equals item instance dot object instance. So instead of creating again the new object instance, we're going to be placing it onto the left hand. We're going to basically moving the same object instead of the same way we do this over here. Okay, let's test this out. It's getting a little bit tiring to fix all those little bugs, but we're getting there. Okay, I think that probably worked, but let's open this. Yeah, it didn't work because the slot is not moved. For some reason the slot didn't move. It moved here, but it's still updated on here. So when we're loading a weapon, we need to be clearing the previous slot we had. So that would be load weapon on hook. Weapon hook, item is left. Okay, load weapon. On the random item, we have the current slot. Okay, so do we never assign this then? We assign this here. Update random item on list weapon. That should have taken care of that. But I think it's because it's the first weapon, that's why we're missing this slot, because it's the first weapon. So let's say load items on slot, on slots, store to slot. Where do we handle that? Load items. Well, I see that everything is done through over here. On select item dialog, aha, here we are. Now this needs to be false. That's on select. That's on enable. That's on false. False. So let's say load items. We're going through each one of these objects. We created the objects, create objects, then we instantiate the object. And if the item is null, we're going to say the instance, then we're going to check the component. That's only if you store the slot though. Otherwise you're loading the instance ID from a list of runtime items. Yeah, okay, here's one thing. Let's try and let's check one thing, but I might go and fix this offline. So I'm going to move the right hand down here, then let's go and check what the prefab has on the slot itself. The index stored ID is 0, index is 0, okay, icon has the sword but doesn't matter. Then on the left hand it's here, stored ID is 0, which is the first sword, okay. Then let's check underneath our left hand what's gonna happen. What do we have? Because I think we kinda destroyed the previous object as well. Let's say cloud left, elbow left, hand left. Yeah, we have destroyed this second, the left hand. So we need to see why do we have this destroyed then? Let's go under inventory manager. Let's take all of this one by one. So we're going to say index. Okay, first index, load weapon on the controller. Load weapon item is null return. Item, weapon hook, load weapon on hook is unarmed, is left item, result, load weapon, then you return that one. If current model is not null, unload weapon, where you're going to unload it. We did got one unload, and unloading a model means you're closing it. Then back to the weapon item, we check if it's unarmed, okay, model distance, object distance, weapon hook, nothing happening here. Well, first of all, this needs to go on the runtime item and not on the weapon item. That's kind of important. Don't know why I left it here. And let's find the item. Then we're going to get a few errors already. Okay, because this needs to be now on item instance, and this needs to be item instance as well. Let's see where else we're going to get that error. Okay, strangely enough, nowhere. And then let's see, we return current model. Let's see what we have. Current model has no assignment. Okay, then loading the weapon happens on here and here. The result where we say return that back, load weapon on hook, then we do steps. What steps? Oh. Huh? What's the steps? Oh, how many we're going to add? Yeah, how many we're going to add, because we have the steps, yeah. So weapon item actions, item on container, copy item, okay, and update quick slot for item, and it just goes and updates the icon hook, target item, and target item. So then, where are we destroying? Do we have a destroy? We do not have a destroy. Inside the controller, we don't. Do we have one over here? We don't. Well, then where is it? Yeah, I don't get it. Supposedly we should have had the sword underneath, unless it's not parented underneath the weapon holder and it's parented somewhere else, but I don't see it, so I don't know what to tell you there. Well, I see that they are placed on the left, on the wrong sword, on the wrong side, but I don't see them. So let's check for weapon hook. And then let's see where this, we have all these great swords. I'm guessing it's the great sword clone, which is right now is underneath the right hand weapon. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you here. It seems a bit off. It seems way off, actually. So load weapon model. It probably has to do over here. Let's say if we never unload the weapon, what's going to happen? And model, if it's not null, parent override. Where is the parent override? Where is this coming from? That's the weapon holder hook, okay. Then how do you know if it's left or right then? You don't, you just select the left hook and the right hook. So how do you know this is the left hook? For its weapon holder left hook, okay. That should probably show through the inventory. Let's check. What's weird, we actually got it working before, but right now it doesn't. So that's actually really weird. Okay, the player controller. Let's check what happens with our inventory. Weapon holder hook, that's the left hook, okay. That's the right hook, okay. Let's change hands then. Let's place it there. Then it's still on the right hand, so I don't know what happened here then. There are a lot, of course. Aha. Where this is coming from. There's no reference to this, so we're not using that. Let's say load weapon model, left hook, right atom. So let's check in here. Attach this. Let's hit play. And yeah, we don't want this one. We know it's the first one. Okay, so is left is false. Okay, that's where we begin to have the problem. Load weapon is left. Let's see, yeah, well, switch weapon. It's coming from. There's two places we use switch weapon. Let's see. That's coming from the update references profile. I don't think we're using this anymore. So let's put a debug log in here first of all. Then let's put debug log from any places of this. My guess is the switch weapon. That references, then in here, yeah, okay, pickup item is definitely not that. Is left, then load weapon, switch weapon. So let's say when we update the switch weapon, we say switch weapon is left is true, switch weapon is left is false, update random items on list. Where is this coming from? Storage slot is left. It could be that. Let's do a debug.log. Storage slot is left. Well, eventually we're going to find it, but right now we need to do the tedious task of debugging all of this, and it is indeed pretty tedious. Let's say, there we go. We forgot to have ticked the UI slots is left. So I'm going to guess now it's going to work. So the problem was it was keep spawning them on the right hand. So it looked like we weren't doing anything. And here it is. We now have it the correct slot. Perfect. That's actually perfect. Awesome. So yeah, we actually did it. As you can see, we do have the references. We do have our SS. Well, this doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's see the argument out of range. Let's do inventory manager 120. So for the consumables, let's open up the consumables list. And yeah, well, consumables needs to have the same index as the rest of this. So on init, I don't think we can we add like 6 places? We cannot. Now, speaking of a hack, yeah, okay, I don't like this. So consumables will actually become an array. And we're going to initialize this as consumables holder of 6. Then down here we can do we can do index of that way, but that is because we're using consumables. Yeah, we need to change the quick consumables. Consumables will stay the same thing, but the quick consumables will turn into an array, so we can access them via index, and we can set a specific amount of slots of 6. Then down here, instead of saying add quick consumables, we're going to use I equals consumables or con holder. So when we say update the consumables from the navigate manager, update random item or list, we're not going to be assigning, we're going to be assigning this on the quick consumables, and then update consumables list, it will create the new consumables list. Perfect. I think that should probably do it, and that should conclude the videos for this part of the inventory. And I think guess not. Consumables holder, what? Quick consumables. Well, that is an issue because we got consumables. We know we have consumables, but you didn't add anything in there. So if that's the case, then this should have been empty. Let's find the error again. This needs to be if C, if C is not null, because you might have consumables that are null now because we have fixed positions onto our array. So we need to be checking if it's null or not. So what's with a null? If you can use a null item, I'm just going to say use when null on the bestest focus and this, so it ignores the amount we get, the amount we have. Hit play. That's not play. There we go. And there we go. Oops. What? Apparently we spawn. I don't know if we are spawning or if we're not clearing. Then, okay, let's take a look then. Yeah, we're definitely spawning, but I don't know where that's coming from. I think we're probably on our open select dialog. Let's do open. Yeah, I know where it's coming from. We have multiple. No, it's not that. Open select item dialog. That will be destroying objects. Load items, create objects UI, get components, okay. Don't close empties. Okay, so here's one thing we should be doing is, let's put a breakpoint to this and we'll see. We definitely have a lot of objects, but I don't know if we get those objects because our get all consumables returns more than one instance. This will solve with a breakpoint. We will solve this. Shouldn't be a problem. We don't really need this one. Okay, so let's select this. Get all consumables. How many are they? Let's get inside. Let's get inside. Then let's put it here. Result is 2. Okay, continue. Then I'm going to select one of these and I'm going to go and select a new one. So the result now is 3. Okay, that's the issue. Oops. So that means we get more consumables than we have to. But why? For each consumables holder, items in consumables. That's the consumables. Consumables. Quick consumables. When do we add the consumables? Oh, yeah, when we update the consumables. Update consumables list. No. Wait a minute. For each quick consumable, we clear the consumables. Okay, then use one null, we add them back in, and then if consumables count is greater than 0. But how do we get 3 then? Let's attach that again. Come on. Okay, consumables clear. Let's see. We don't want the first one. Oh yeah, I think I know what it is. Because we're never clearing the quick consumables. Yeah, that's it. Add items. You'll see that when I press that up and consumables clear, quick consumables has 6. Yeah, it has 6 of them. So it already added a third on the new entry. That's why. So whenever we update on the navigate manager, when we do the update on the slower slot, that's not on that's the load. Update quick slot for item. Here we are. Now that's the quick slot. Update consumable list. A little bit behind that. Okay, here we are. So consumable holder, we need to know if it was on a previous index or if it was on another position. So we will say public integer previous index, we'll set it to -1. Then if h dot previous index is greater or equals than 0, so it's not -1, quick consumables previous h dot previous index equals null. So it's clearing up the references. Then quick consumables h dot previous index equals the new index. Okay. Let's try this, and that will be the final thing we do for today. There we go. Damn it. Well, no. We do get 3. Yeah, okay. I know what it is. It's because we are not clearing, when we're not adding the previous index when we instancing them. So let's say consumables dot add, and not here. Let's say it's over here. Let's say consumables. On init, down here, where we assign the quick consumable on the consumable holder, we just need to say consumable holder previous index equals I, and that should fix that. That's why we were getting multiple ones, because they were starting as index of 0, as previous index of not existing. Perfect. That's it. Now we have a fully working inventory. Well, apart from... Damn it. Okay. One small change. Instead of just doing a null, we need to check then if quick consumables h dot previous index is not h. Actually, if it is h, only then change it. Only then make it null, otherwise ignore it. But previous index is not the same as the index you have over here, otherwise you're going to be replacing the same object. Perfect. Awesome. So now we have a fully working inventory. Perfect. Now, if you are worried about the left hand, why it looks like that is because we simply just need to go onto our player, onto the weapon hook for the weapon holder for the left hand, and just place it like it's supposed to be. Or how it's supposed to be looking, that is. Okay, one trick though, I'm going to copy these components and I'm going to go on my hand now. I'm going to create an empty of this, which I'm going to call rotation fix. And I'm going to paste the component values in here. Then I'm going to parent the weapon holder hook and reset its rotation and position. So now if I want to actually fix the rotation of this, of the sword, for doing the parry, for example, I will be able to do it with the same logic, with the exact same logic as well. Okay, so that's it for this part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you'd like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, let's try to do the parry with the left hand. I'm curious what's going to happen. Yeah, okay, let's fix this. Let's try and fix this. More correct wording. Parry. Is this the attack? What's this? No, that's this. So first of all, parry, say, is mirrored. Then parry stab, mirror as well. So he will be using the other hand to parry. Okay, this will work for this. Then on the left hand, it uses the other hand. Perfect. You can just rotate the hand. Perfect. Now we can parry with both hands. So that's it for this part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, more of Souls-like. And well, I have a lot of secrets, and I have a lot of secret series that I'm working on that you're going to see eventually. So for that, keep supporting me, and we will be able to make all of them. I'll see you next time.